We're joined in the News 9 kitchen by Fred Manhack from Celebrations Catering, and you just got this great award from New Hampshire Magazine. Tell us about it.
Well, we got voted best caterer in New Hampshire.
That's awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Great for you.
Thank you to my staff as well.
And now,
Absolutely.
What did you bring in today? What are you showing us?
Well, you know, April showers bring May flowers, so I thought I'd do some nice fresh salads. And, you know, we cater to any number of people, so the more the merrier. So I just figured we'd try a few things of that. And it's really easy. You just, and I would say, you know, stick with vegetables that you like. If you don't like something, don't put it in.
That looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So what do you have, some snap peas?
Some snap peas and some asparagus. And then I am pan-searing some scallops, which I had just flipped over, so they're almost done.
Those look beautiful.
And I mean, this goes together really fast, too. So those scallops are done. You don't need to cook these all the way through, and in fact, you don't want to.
And so you'd serve that just
on
a bed of lettuce?
I'm just going to put that right on that. It's on a bed of lettuce. I've got some mango there. The scallops were marinated in a blood orange sesame marinade.
Ooh, that
so
sounds delicious.
I made a dressing, and I am just going to, let me put the scallops on first. First things first,
Can I help
right?
you with anything?
Oh, it's okay.
I don't know how you guys cook and talk and do it all at once. I know it's not easy. But these salads are beautiful, so colorful.
Thank you.
And you have a lot on there too, different kinds of carrots. And you were telling me that you have some cabbage.
Fermented cabbage. That is yellow because of the turmeric, and that's red because of the beets.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are going to be planning barbecues pretty soon once the weather really warms up, and something like this would be just wonderful. Sure,
and then, you know, this is really easy. So basically those are ribbon vegetables. I just used a peeler. Amy over there wanted to know about my secret technique. It's you take a potato peeler and you can put them in a little ice water. This is just some roasted fennel. We're just going to pour right on top of that. And some wild mushrooms. These came from New Hampshire, by the way.
Oh, wow.
And then the dressing is super simple and really good for you. It's our red pepper hummus. I put a little lemon juice in it. Little lemon juice, a little bit of water. Get it as tangy as you want. You shake it up.
That sounds delicious.
You shake it up, and there it is.
And there you have it.
You know, and if you wanted to put a little olive oil in it, and that'll just go right in.
So pretty, really.
Thank you. Thank you.
What a great idea, too, to kind of shave the vegetables to kind of make a different kind of a salad.
Yeah, just make it a little more eye-appealing. Maybe kids might eat it that way more. And little microgreens.
Oh, I wish you could smell the dressings, because they do. They smell delicious.
And the microgreens, those come directly from our chef, Jonathan. He's the microgreen chef. And voila, there we are.
Just beautiful. And again, let people know where you're located in Manchester.
We're on 1017 2nd Street in Manchester, but we're a caterer, like the best caterer in New Hampshire, and we go to you.
That's wonderful. Congratulations again.
Thanks a lot, Erin.
Celebrations Catering is right here in Manchester, and look at this. I think people would be very happy if you showed up with a salad like that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Fred, thanks so much, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
No one covers New Hampshire like we do. Now, WMUR News 9 This Morning.
Good morning at 6:30. I'm Amy Cavino. We begin with a live look at the Milford Oval. Easy for me to say. 49 degrees. Pretty gloomy there at this hour. Here's a look at our top stories on the half hour. A man is accused of trying to grab a Manchester police officer's gun during a traffic stop overnight. Dana Hathaway was arrested on several warrants and charges, including resisting arrest. The White House drug czar's budget could be slashed by more than 90%, according to the acting director. Governor Sununu says he will make sure the Trump administration understands how critical this money is for programs in New Hampshire. Demolition work began this week at the former Rockingham Park racetrack in Salem. A retail and residential development is being built in its place. We'll get to all the stories and more in just a minute, but first, let's head over to the Weather Center, see if we can find Josh Judge and ask him about this rotten weather. Josh?
Yeah, okay, I guess so. All right, here's a look at what's going on out there. Now, we do have the temperatures at least a little bit milder. It's not too cold out there, upper 40s and in the 50s around the state right now. And it will be a milder day today. However, it will be a bit gloomy at times. It sure is right now with showers. And this visibility map shows you where the thickest fog is. Those are the areas, of course, with the lowest visibility. Now to the showers, and there are plenty of them around the region, moving from south to north. And that's how they will be at times today. They'll move through, then a break, then another one could move through. But as we come through the back edge of the current batch that's moving through, there could be a break, and then more here, and then another batch down in this line right here could move through a little bit later on. So it could be off and on again. But in between, I do believe there'll be at least some breaks in the action, and perhaps some areas could see a few breaks of sunshine as well. Temperatures in the 60s, so at least it's warmer than what we saw yesterday, and probably the warmest day of the next several to come as well. We'll talk about that in your week ahead forecast coming up.
New from overnight, a man is accused of trying to grab a Manchester police officer's gun during a traffic stop. This happened just before 12:30 this morning near Auburn and Pine. Manchester police stopped 19-year-old Dana Hathaway for allegedly running a red light. Hathaway allegedly gave the officer a fake name, and when they tried to pat him down, he's accused of trying to grab the officer's weapon. Hathaway has several outstanding warrants and was arrested on additional charges, including disobeying a police officer. Major questions now in the fight against the opioid epidemic. The Trump administration is proposing cuts to the White House drug czar budget. WMUR's Gene Mackin tells us what this could mean for New Hampshire.
Police here in Bedford say that money makes a big difference battling the opioid crisis right here. The White House drug czar's budget could be slashed by more than 90%, according to the acting director. The Office of National Drug Control Policy would lose $364 million, leaving a $24 million budget, eliminating grants to help states and cities fight drug trafficking and end the Drug-Free Communities program. Members of New Hampshire's congressional delegation accuse the president of breaking his campaign promise.
I made the people of New Hampshire a promise.
I made a promise to the people of New Hampshire that if I win, we're going to stop it.
And I gave the people of New Hampshire my pledge, more than anybody else in this case.
Senators Jeanne Shaheen and Maggie Hassan issued a joint statement saying it would be grossly irresponsible and hinder New Hampshire's efforts. Congresswoman Annie Kuster hopes the president reconsiders and provides more money.
He will also add additional funding in his budget for access to treatment, for education and prevention.
Bedford and other departments have officers who work in the high-intensity drug trafficking program, which would be on the chopping block.
My hope is that the administration reinvests and plows that money back into the existing DEA task force program so that we can continue the aggressive attack on drug trafficking organizations that are responsible for almost 500 deaths here in the state of New Hampshire just this past year.
And Governor Sununu says he'll make sure the Trump administration understands how critical those programs are fighting the drug epidemic in New Hampshire. In Bedford, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Governor Sununu plans to discuss the opioid crisis in Concord Wednesday with Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price. We first reported on Price's planned visit to New Hampshire on WMUR.com last night. Other details of his visit have not been released. President Trump's former campaign manager is back in New Hampshire after abruptly leaving the D.C. firm he founded after the election. Corey Lewandowski was in Tilton Friday touring the state veterans home. His visit drew attention to a successful program that gets veterans involved in bird watching. Lewandowski tells News 9 he quit his newly founded lobbying firm in the wake of what he calls fake news reports about the firm's clients.
I've been so lucky. Everything I've ever done, another door has opened after I've left. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I love being back home. I came home last night. I'm going to spend the next 4 days with my family because I don't spend enough time with those guys and see what happens.
Lewandowski says veterans are a priority for the Trump administration, and he's doing anything he can to get veterans programs more funding. This morning, the driver in the deadly crash at a Billerica, Massachusetts auto auction is speaking out for the first time.
I'm sorry that anybody got hurt, which was obviously what happened, and I want the families to know that I didn't intentionally try and hurt anybody and tried very hard to miss everybody.
The 76-year-old says there was nothing he could do as the car he was driving at the auction suddenly took off.
And I saw people in front of me when I tried to go right for missing the cars. And I said, that's no good. I'm going to run over a lot of people. I went to the left, and I said, I'm going to hit the cars that are there, but at least they might not get hurt.
3 people were killed as that Jeep Grand Cherokee slammed through the wall of the building. Roger suffered broken bones in his hand and his foot. Meanwhile, Linway Auto Auction has discovered that his driver's license expired in 2015. His driving record shows 7 crashes since 1987, and his license has been suspended 4 times. Roger has not been charged in the crash. New this morning, a police officer in Massachusetts is recovering after being shot in the face last night. Investigators say the officer was checking the warrant status of someone staying at a Braintree motel when he was hit. That officer is expected to be okay. Police found the suspect dead in his motel room. We're learning new information about Aaron Hernandez's time in prison. Newly released documents reveal that Hernandez was a member of the notorious Bloods street gang. They also say he was disciplined in 2013 for threatening to kill a corrections officer and his family. This comes as we're getting a look at the suicide note that Hernandez left for his fiancée. In the handwritten letter to Shayana Jenkins, he says, quote, I told you what was coming indirectly. I love you so much and know you are an angel. He also wrote, tell my story fully, but never think anything besides how much I love you. Well, a section of Route 142 in Bethlehem was shut down overnight due to a crash. The Grafton County Sheriff's Office says a car slammed into a pole, bringing down wires and causing oil to spill in the road. No one was hurt. The road was closed while the power company worked on making the repairs. Hampton police have made an arrest in connection with a burglary and vandalism spree. 24-year-old Jacob Follensby is accused of breaking into a construction trailer last month. He's also accused of burglarizing and damaging a building on Lafayette Road, as well as smashing the windows of a restaurant delivery van and vandalizing that building with spray paint. Coming up, from rugby to shopping. Plenty to do in the Granite State today. We'll tell you what's happening. It was a close game at Target Field last night. Jamie Staten shows us how the Red Sox did in Minnesota.
There's a lot of rain around the East Coast. Kind of have to get used to this type of pattern for a little while. We'll tell you about that and what to expect for this weekend. It is 6:40. You're watching News 9 this morning.
Now, meteorologist Josh Judge with your Stormwatch 9 forecast.
Hey, thanks for joining us here on a Saturday morning. You want to know one good thing about this weather? It's the pollen, or lack thereof. It certainly went down quite a bit yesterday, and the pollen levels lower again today. Up a little tomorrow because the showers will be much more limited tomorrow and Monday as well. But certainly lower today and not as bad. They've been up in the 10 and 11 category much of this past week or two. So certainly lower there. The allergy levels a little bit better. Here's the current temperatures. They are in the 40s and 50s, which is a little bit mild for this time of the morning and this time of the year. So we're going to take these milder temperatures and convert them into 60s, it looks like today. Most locations, some areas have the chance of getting into the mid or even upper 60s if you just see the clouds thin out enough. Not the case right now. There's fog, there's drizzle, there's showers, and plenty of clouds, as you can see here. Also showers moving from south to north throughout the state right now, and that will continue off and on in waves at times today, and then breaks in between. The problem is if you're going to be outside doing things or if your kids have sporting activities, the ground is obviously going to be wet. So keep that in mind. Maybe bring a towel along or something to wipe the kids off if needed, so that grass clippings and everything else don't stick to them, because it is going to be a wet one out there this morning with the showers continuing for a while. But there could be some breaks in the action, especially at times this afternoon. Look at the broad circulation scale here. This is a giant area of low pressure, which is sort of consolidating and then just kind of hankering down right overhead for several days to come. A look at Futurecast with on again, off again showers, downpours, sprinkles, and breaks. Here's later this morning where there could be a few breaks in between those showers. Another wave could roll through at any time, really. But then this afternoon, do take a look. There's going to be some times where you can go outside, some usable parts of the day. Again, ground wet, but breaks of sunshine possible, particularly here in parts of southwestern New Hampshire. It seems to be the best chance of it, but we all have at least that chance. Tonight, more showers. Tomorrow, look at that. I don't have a harp music sound effect handy, but there could be some breaks of sunshine, a little bit more numerous for tomorrow. Tomorrow, a couple degrees cooler, but at least there's a better chance of more breaks of sunshine. But anytime you get breaks of sun in this weather pattern, the clouds then fill back in several hours later and more showers pop up because the atmosphere is so unstable, and that unstable atmosphere sticks around for most of the upcoming week. So high temperatures today, we're going to be topping off in the 60s, some spots well into the 60s. Tonight, similar temperatures to last night, and then tomorrow a couple degrees cooler, but probably a little bit more sunshine for tomorrow. It gets cooler this week ahead. Many of the days will have temperatures mostly in the 50s. And basically all week the theme is clouds, breaks of sunshine. Those breaks fill back in, maybe a pop-up shower or two here and there. None of those days look like washouts, but none of them look like standout stellar days either.
No, they don't.
You don't hold back your punches, do you?
All right, thanks, Josh, I guess. From shopping to sports, there's plenty to do in New Hampshire today. WMUR's Tom Griffith tells us what's happening.
The Amoskeag rugby team is hosting the Kyle Warren Memorial Cup game today. The game is in honor of Army Staff Sergeant Kyle Warren, who was killed in 2010 while serving in Afghanistan. Before joining the Army, Warren played 4 years with Amoskeag Rugby. The event benefits the Wounded Warriors Project. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Celebrate nurses from the Granite State with a day at the ballpark. The Fisher Cats host Nurses Appreciation Day. First pitch is at 5:35 against Binghamton. Stick around for fireworks after the game. There are plenty of ways to exercise for good causes today in the Granite State. The Children's Museum of New Hampshire in Dover is hosting its annual 5K road race and Kid Venture course. Proceeds help ensure that all families have access to the museum. Registration is $25 and the race starts at 9 a.m. In Claremont, Step Up to End Violence, Turning Points Network is hosting its 11th annual Stepping Up Walk Run. The money raised goes to crisis and support services for survivors of domestic violence, sexual violence, and stalking. Last year, that totaled more than $100,000. The walk run begins at 10 a.m. The Second Chance Animal Rescue is hosting a yard sale this weekend at the Masonic Lodge on Mount Vernon Street in Milford. All the money raised benefits the animals rescued by Second Chance. The sale runs until 1 this afternoon and tomorrow from 8 until noon. This is opening day at Canterbury Shaker Village. The historic landmark is kicking off its season with the Heifer Parade, food, barn dancing, and butter making. And it's all free. To learn more, head to shakers.org. And that's what's happening in New Hampshire. I'm Tom Griffith, WMUR News 9.
Now, Jamie Staten and News 9 Sports.
All right, big news from the ice last night. Manchester Monarchs moving on in their playoff series. Last night, Game 6 at the Brampton Beast, and they take a 5-4 victory. And so the Monarchs win the series 4-2. Ashton Rome scored 2 goals. And the Monarchs end up with the win. So they'll move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they will play South Carolina, Game 1 at South Carolina next weekend. All right, let's go to the Red Sox game. This was a wild one, and here we go. The Twins jumped on Red Sox starter Eduardo Rodriguez in the first inning, including this drive to right field. Mookie Betts had all kinds of trouble with a Miguel Sano shot. It's a triple that scores Joe Mauer all the way from first base. It was 2-0 after the first inning. Rodriguez did pitch really well after that. Sox got one back in the third. Andrew Benintendi goes down and lifts this one into the grass in center field. 4th of the year, 2-1. Top of the 9th. The Red Sox down by 2, and Chris Young with a pinch hit double, and that scores 2 runs. A big hit for the Red Sox. It's a 3-3 baseball game. But in the bottom of the 9th, Joe Mauer with a solo home run the other way. Matt Barnes left the pitch up, and he took it over the wall. That's it, and the Twins walk off with the 4-3 win. That hurts because the Orioles and Yankees both won. Let's go to the White Sox at the Orioles in the first inning. It was a rough start for Baltimore's Wade Miley. Jose Abreu hits a line drive back to the mound, goes off Miley's wrist and into right field for a base hit. Miley got checked out, decided to stay in the game. But the next batter, Avisail Garcia, lines one on. That goes off Miley's leg for another base hit. That was enough for Miley. His day was done. In the third inning, Chris Davis with a solo home run, and the Orioles end up winning this one by the final score of 4-2. The Yankees played an afternoon game at the Cubs at Wrigley Field. In the first inning, Chris Bryant with a solo shot to right field, his 6th home run of the year. The Cubs were down 2-0, or they were up 2-0 most of the game. Yankees down to their final strike in the 9th inning, but with 2 men on, Brett Gardner, a 3-run home run, gives the Yankees the dramatic win, 3-2. Their 4 games up on the Red Sox now in the standings. And who says pitchers can't hit? How about the shot by Washington Nationals pitcher Steven Strasburg to left center field? That's his second career home run, actually right away, straightaway center field. It's his first home run in 5 years, second career. Washington wins 4-2. Strasburg got the win on the mound as well. Fisher Cats postponed on their annual Play Ball for Chad game. They'll play a doubleheader with the Rumble Ponies starting tonight at 5:30. How about some lacrosse? Concord and Hanover, they played boys lacrosse on the turf field. Concord's in the dark uniforms. In the second half, Alex Marceau feeds Brendan Pearl. He scores to give the Tide a 9-8 lead. Concord led 10-8 with under 3 minutes to play. Hanover's Brian Seltzer with a laser, though. That made it a 10-9 game, and they weren't done. Graham Penfield will work from behind the net and score the equalizer with just 8 seconds left in regulation. They ended up going to double overtime in sudden death, and Marceau will scoop it up with that long stick, slide it in, and in double overtime, Concord wins 11-10. That's a look at your Friday sports. Have a great day.
You too, Jamie Staten. Still ahead right here on News 9 this morning. Seeing double, the unique bond shared by twin sisters and why everyone was so surprised. And now to our You Local hotshot. This is Max, taking his dog Roxy for a walk in Merrimack. Roxy's getting a good ride there, Max. You can submit your pictures and video, join the thousands of You Local members by logging on to ulocal.wmur.com. The families of twin sisters in New Jersey are seeing double again.
Yeah, the women both delivered baby boys on the same day at the same hospital. Reporter Tony Yates has that story.
We always said we wished it would happen growing up, wanted to raise our kids together and grow up together, but we didn't think the actual same day would happen.
Twin sisters Kim Abraham and Danielle Grant, by pure coincidence, made April 28th a most incredible day. Kim giving birth to Aaron, Danielle welcoming Roman just a room and hours apart at Ocean Medical Center.
So we were texting each other from the room and FaceTiming each other. Yeah, trying to keep, like, 'cause she was there, my daughter was born.
Everyone was in her room and I'm texting I think I'm getting no attention, help,
We're on group messages, so after I delivered, I'm looking at that, and then she's like, of course they're all with Danielle, help, yeah.
It's been an uncanny 9 months for the sisters. Danielle has a 2-year-old daughter, but Aaron is Kim's first. So Danielle would flying over to Kim's house to celebrate Kim's positive pregnancy test.
So I made her take one, and then it was positive.
It was positive, so we were so excited for her, but then I was so surprised for myself, so I kind of stole away from that. I was like, oh my God.
I was consoling her.
They broke the news to their mom by dressing little Reagan in blue.
Kim said, well, maybe you'll get to see more Blue because Reagan's going to be a big cousin. So I was all excited, and Danielle said, and a big sister. And so then it was, are you kidding me?
And so began a childhood wish come true, unfolding with family and their medical teams.
I've been a nurse for a very long time, and I've worked in many places. Never have I ever seen this, so it's very unique.
Everyone happy, healthy, and grateful.
Wow.
Great story there.
That's pretty amazing,
uncanny,
huh?
Yeah. Josh, I'm a little sleep deprived this morning. I was out past my bedtime. Yep. I was emceeing for the Casa Cares event last night.
Yes.
Casa is, I've been on their board of
Dear
directors.
To your heart, yep.
Yeah, it certainly is. And this Casa Cares event has just grown and grown and grown. There's the Manchester firefighters. They auctioned off dinner for 12 at the firehouse. That went for big money. I mean, just a huge crowd there at the Castleton. Such a great turnout. So much love in that room. We raised a lot of money for this nonprofit. This opioid crisis has stretched Casa to its limits. They need 146 new volunteers to keep up with their mission. Wow. We had a Casa kid there named Hunter who told his story. He's adopted now. He's from Salem. Such a great night. Just thanks to everybody. New Hampshire is an amazing state. Everybody coming together and raising good money.
Things like that are uplifting with crisis like this.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a look. Some people think the weather is in crisis, actually, to be honest with you, because of all the clouds. That would be you, actually, Amy. Clouds and scattered showers, they're certainly around today, and fog as well. This afternoon, I do see at least some bright spots. The sky should brighten a little, and we may even see a few breaks of sun in between the showers. I have to qualify that. And a little more sun for tomorrow.
The news continues at the top of the hour with today's top stories. Up next, the man accused of having deadly carfentanil is behind bars this morning. How police managed to finally locate him. Also, search and rescue teams speak out after saving a lost hiker, how they were able to find him.
Now on News 9 this morning, the man accused of having the deadly drug carfentanil is now in custody. Where police found him. Possible cuts to the federal drug czar budget. What this could mean in the fight against addiction here in New Hampshire.
Starting the weekend wet and gloomy, but there are some glimmers of hope. A look at when it could be the driest.